around here, there wasn't much but water, atmosphere, soil, and lightning. Simply, the Earth was relatively round. It was shaped. It had massive volcano eruptions. It had water, so there was atmosphere. It had the right gravity, so the atmosphere didn't dissolve into space. And because of atmosphere, it had lightning. So these lightnings in this carbon material, there was also the carbon, strikes all over the universe, repetitively, billions and billions of times, or however long. And suddenly, one day, out of the blue, this lightning strikes into the atmosphere, into the water and the soils, and hits carbon. And these 4 or 5 criteria are upheld. Out of magic, chance. This has happened many times before, but all of the criteria wasn't upheld. This little gizmo appears. It's carbon. It can drink from the light of the sun. It can drink water. It can reproduce itself. And it is through calculations. I calculate on my options, therefore I am. And with that, the first forest. It reproduced itself over and over again. Its first little simple molecule, but it was there. It had choice. It could act. It was standing absolutely still, but it had air. And above that, it was our first thought. Then some time passed, and the whole of the earth was filled with these little reproductive origins, twins and family. The whole of the earth were filled with those. Then some time passed, and they started eating each other. Where one would die, another one would take its place. A small little film of slime all over the planet, everywhere there was life. Well, there could be, well, not volcanoes, they're too hot, too cold. And then they started eating each other. Another branch became another branch, became another branch, over and over again. And they started evolving into different directions. They started becoming, and I need this word, I'll try to find it, but I only know it in Danish, and I can't find my phone this right now. I'm on a roll, so I'm just going to say it in Danish, explain what it is. Klyngeplanter. Klyngeplanter. Weed that climbs upon another branch and suffocates it and kills it. And that's how they start feeding on each other. In the initiation, they just eat the corpses of the dead, fed upon those and the carbon. But as more and more time progressed, these Klyngeplanter became the thing. And as more time progressed, these Klyngeplanter started detaching into movable plants, probably tumbleweed or something like it. And then slowly, because life calculates on its options, choice into limbs that became the first grasses. Then almost ate everything until those grasses evolved into the third part of the trichotomics of nature, flora, fauna, and hunters. Became the hunters of the old plants. Then almost ate everything. They then found a balance between flora, fauna, and hunters. And this balance has been upheld for a very long time. And there we are. Now this does something to us because in the first billion years, however long it was, millions of years, possibly, I don't know when the first trilobites and all this shit appeared. We were just plants. But all trilobites and all dinosaurs and all humans has their origin in dinosaurs, as we are from, and then from their trilobites, and then from their trees. And that's the experiment I want to take you on. That you go to a bar where people are laughing, and then you sit down and relax, and then you listen to the people in the bar. You can't hear what they're saying because there's a lot of white noise, but you can hear there's a lot of white noise of voices. And then you listen to the voices of the people laughing, and then shut down your translator. So you listen to them as they speak, but not what they're saying, but as they sound. The first thing you're going to feel when you realize how to do this is that Jesus Christ is that humans. We're simply just screeching chickens with evolution behind us. And that's going to be a shock. And then you start listening to that and realize that we're just screaming chickens made of wood, sharing water. And that's whom we are. Now, this in relation to pedophilia is, of course, an enigma. But I'll try to explain it to you. See, the point is that in nature there's one language overwhelmingly manifesting itself for all others, and that is violence. Violence is everywhere in nature. In fact, no one leaves nature without being guided to do so prior. For us, it's a bit different because we hide ourselves from the consequences of nature, and we try to shield ourselves from pain through culture, and laws, tradition, and morals. But we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that at all. We need Leroy's conciliation, optimal form of law. Because we are so degenerate, you cannot imagine it. Now, the point is that if we are to survive as a species, right now we are evolving into space. I've personally developed a spaceship that will take us to the edge of the universe. And that's bad for a species like ours. We're sick. We're so sick, you don't imagine. But imagine you have years, billions of years behind you, with evolution based entirely on violence and selection of the smartest, the brightest, the luckiest, and the quickest, the most adept. And we are cheating on every corner based on the perception that it can't be a pity in nature. So you understand that whatever we kid ourselves with, we are wrong. But cock must be taught. Cock must be taught by those who has it and who knows how to use it. Cock is the essence of a man's wisdom. The incarnation. And this means, I'm sorry, apologize. That the greater his cock, the more his age, the greater his cock, the better a pedophile. And the concept about pedophiles having small cocks is actually wrong compared to what the essence of pedophilia is. But it's also something more. We are accused of not being real men, which is also something wrong, because we're highly emotional in favor of us being A, old, and B, for being way old. You need the sweet hunt That is your graceful gift from nature for your gratitude, in order for us to see, have the ability to navigate through education, and for education of the female child or for the child, to understand where they need to have compassion and where they need to be seen rough, through emotional insights. So when you accuse a pedophile of being an unmanly creature, that's a man who hasn't been having his trial by fires. We have lost all culture for educating children into being real men. We have lost all relation between male and female roles from nature. And none of us are actually coherently sane anymore. We're trying to run from our nature because our persistent backbone of our choice operation is that it can't be a pity in nature that's built on violence. And this is insane. And now we've discovered that it can't be a pity for the children that becomes degenerate as fuck because they don't get attention, they don't get love, they don't get sex, and they don't get violence, and they don't get raped when they need to be. So we're stuck in a situation where we are degenerate and running down the hill of destruction with a massive stampede where none of us will actually survive. I guess we'll start doing it my way. And because of this, and because the stigmata of pedophilia is so overwhelming for so many people, then we're kind of lost because me as an agent is not going to be able to rock many boats, as I sadly say.